Hi, on this lesson, I will discuss about zone-based policy firewall or just PF. As you can see, I have a firewall and I create some security zones such as private zone, public zone, and DMZ zone. So just PF is a new configuration mode in which interfaces are assigned to security zones and firewall policy is applied to traffic moving between the zones. There are several benefits of a JSPF. Firstly, it is not dependent on ACLs. Secondly, the router security posture is to block unless explicitly allowed. Thirdly, policies are easy to read and troubleshoot with the Cisco Common Classification Policy language. This language is a structured method to create traffic policies based on events, conditions, and actions. It provides scalability by having one policy affect any given traffic instead of needing multiple ACLs and inspection action. To configure zone-based policy firewalls, step 1. We create the zones by using the command zone security and then enter the zone name. Step 2. Identify traffic with a class map. We use two commands. Class map type inspect and match-any means packet must meet one of the match criteria, or match zone means all of the match criteria, and enter class map name. Next, match access group protocol or class map means we match traffic to an ACL, to a specific protocol, or even another class map. Step 3. Define an action with a policy map. We use three commands. The first command is policy map type inspect and enter the policy map name. Next, we use command class type inspect and enter class map name. And the action inspect. This action offers state-based traffic control. For example, if traffic traveling from the private zone to the public zone is inspected, the router maintains connection or section information for TCP and UDP traffic. The router could then permit return traffic sent from public zone hosts in reply to private zone connection requests. Drop means discard unwanted traffic, and pass is a stateless action that allows the router to forward traffic from one zone to another. Step 4. Identify a zone pair and match it to a policy map. We use two commands. The first command is zone pair security, enter zone pair name. Source, enter the source zone name, or self. Self means the system defined zone. It indicates whether traffic will be going to or from the router itself. And then destination, we enter destination zone name or self. Next, we enter service policy type inspect and enter the policy map name. The last step, we assign zones to the appropriate interfaces by using the command zone member security and enter zone name. Now we open the packet chaser file configuring a zone-based policy firewall, ZPF. This is the topology. ZPFs are the latest development in the evolution of Cisco firewall technologies. In this activity, we will configure a basic ZPF on an edge router tree that allows internal hosts access to external resources and blocks external hosts from accessing internal resources. We will then verify firewall functionality from internal and external hosts. Part 1. Verify basic connectivity. Step 1. From the PCA or server A, ping to PCC. You can see that we can ping from the server A to PCC. Step 2. Access router 2 using SSH. From PCC, we open the command prompt. And now we establish an SSH connection to router 2. And the IP address of the router 2 and the password. Part 2. Create the firewall zones on router 3. Step 1. Enable the security technology package. Firstly, on router 3, we enter the command show version. As you can see, the technology package is now IP-based K9, and the security package is disabled. We have to enable the security package by using this command. And we accept. And then we save the running config and reload the router to enable the security license. And now we enter the command show version to check for the package. And you can see the security K9 is now enabled. Step 2. Create an internal zone. We use the command zone security to create a zone named in zone. Step 3. We create an external zone. Part 3. Identify traffic using a class map. Step 1. Create an ACL that defines internal traffic. We will use the access command to create an extended ACL number 101 to permit all protocols from the network from this network to any destination. On router 3, we create an access list number 101 and permit IP protocol from this network with the wildcard mask to any destination. Step 2. Create a class map referencing the internal traffic ACL. We will use the class map type inspect command with the match all option to create a class map named innet class map. Use the match access group command to match the ACL 101. Part 4. Specify firewall policies. Step 1. Create a policy map to determine what to do with matched traffic. We will use the policy map type inspect command and create a policy map named into our pmap. Step 2. Specify a class type of inspect and reference class map in net class map. Step 3. Specify the action of inspect for this policy map. We will use the inspect command to invoke context-based access control. As you can see, there is a warning because no specific protocol configured in net class map for inspection, so all protocols will be inspected. Part 5. Apply firewall policies. Step 1. Create a pair of zones. We will use the zone pair security command to create a zone pair named into our pair. We will specify the source and destination zones that were created in task 1. Invalid input detected, so we can check again for this command. After checking, there is a correct command zone pair security into our pair source in zone destination out zone. Step 2. Specify the policy map for handling the traffic between the two zones. We will attach a policy map and its associated actions to the zone pair using the service policy type inspect command and reference the policy map previously created into our PMAP. Step 3. Assign interfaces to the appropriate security zones. We will use the zone member security command in interface configuration mode to assign gigabit Ethernet 0/1 to in zone and serial 0/0/1 to out zone. Step 4. Copy the running configuration to the startup configuration. Part 6. Test firewall functionality from in-zone to out-zone. We will verify that internal hosts can still access external resources after configuring the ZPF. Step 1. From internal PCC, ping the server A. As you can see, the ping success. Step 2. From PCC, we establish an SSH connection to the router 2 on serial 0/0/1 interface. As you can see, I can establish successfully an SSH connection to router 2. Now we can use the command to show the established section. As you can see, we have the zone pair into our Z pair with the service policy inspect and match the access group 101 and one established section from PCC to router 2 using port 22. Now on PCC, we open a web browser to browse the website on the server A. Now on router 3, we can show this connection. I can show it again. Port 22, I can click go again, and then on router 3, as you can see, number of established section equal to 2, and there is the first section is a SSH connection, and there is the second section, it's an HTTP connection from PCC to the server on port 80. Part 7. Test firewall functionality from out zone to in zone. We will verify that external hosts cannot access internal resources after configuring the JSPF. From the server, we will ping to PCC and the ping should fail. As you can see, it returns request timeout. Now on router 2, we try to ping PCC. As you can see, the ping is failed because the SPF is config on router tree to block that traffic. Thanks for watching.